Hey there, everyone. I'm Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. Thank you, replay viewers, for watching here on Facebook and on YouTube. I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, where we relax and we craft and we work on a project together about an hour every night. And we work on the projects from beginning to end, so you can learn along the way and ask questions along the way through the whole process. So we have been working on the Charming Chevrons quilt by Christa Watson of Christa Quilts, and we finished the top yesterday, if you can believe it. We finished sewing the top. So here I got it all folded up. We'll get it all out and lay it all out in a little bit here. And I am super stoked. I'm going to actually press it today. We haven't pressed any of the seams and back, so we will, it might take a long time, so I'm hoping we get it done today, but we'll press every seam on the back and then we'll flip it and then just give the front a nice press. And at that point, we can fold it up and it should be just good to go until we are ready. We have to make the back yet and then put the batting in that and put it all together. So it can just sit on the side for that. I got my wood Amish ironing board out here. I've actually never used it before, so I can show you that. I got 2 of these when we were in Indiana, and I just think I want to just hang them both up as artwork. I just love them so much, but I'm going to actually use it for real today. And luckily, my wool pressing mat came in today that I got from Mass Drop a month or so ago. So it came today, and we're gonna give that a test too. I haven't even taken it out of the packaging yet, so we'll take a look at that. We'll use it's a wool pressing mat, so it's just like a thick piece of like matted felted wool, and we'll use that. Tell me about your next quilt along. So we will definitely be doing another quilt along when we're done here, Kimberly. I will have emails about that. The project's coming up soon. This one will actually take a little bit of time yet. For the Charming Chevrons quilt, we are going to do the entire thing free motion quilting, and it's a twin size quilt, so that's going to take us a little bit of time. So we'll probably be working on this quilt into the summer yet for sure, and we might pepper in a few smaller projects in it as well. But I'm going to flip you around. Let's get pressing this, and man, I can already feel like it's going to get super hot in here with the iron, so I'm going to take off giant sweater number 1, and we're just down to 2 sweaters now. So all right, I'm going to flip you around. We'll open up this pressing mat and give it a go. Oh, Diane, you're excited to see if I like the pressing mat. Me too. I have never used one before, but it's just the right size, and I'll show you that in a sec here. All right, I'm going to flip you around. Oh, my camera changed again. All right, here we are. So here is my pressing mat. Oh, and I'll just show you, I'll show you first. Here is my Amish, let's see if I can get really high here. My ironing board here. You can kind of see it was stained when we got it. They were using it as a table for to sell their goods on and stuff. But like, look at, ooh, I don't know if I can get this far, but underneath it, it is all like wood. I love the wood frame, and it folds up as well. I just think it is so fun. So I just love it, and I haven't used it for anything yet. So this will be the first time using it. Oh, Sally, you broke down and bought the purple iron. Yeah, so you know, I was talking about this piece from Mass Drop. Here, I'm gonna move my chair here out of the way. Sorry guys, hold on a sec. There we go. Now I can back up a little bit more. All right. But I got this from massdrop.com, and it's one of those sites where you just kind of they have sales that are for short amounts of time, and during that time, if more people order, then it unlocks lower and lower prices. So it's kind of fun. You never know what's going to be there, and that's what I got. I got this pressing mat. I've had my eyeballs on this for years probably, and never actually bought one. And So when it came up on Mass Drop, I decided to give it a try. And a lot of you are mentioning irons. I just purchased something else from Mass Drop, and it is an iron. It is, I think, a Panasonic cordless iron. Cordless iron. Doesn't that sound amazing? So I am really, really excited about that, especially for a big quilt, like what you're saying here, especially for a really big quilt to not have to deal with that cord. Oh, it's been such a pain having the cord. And, you know, usually I'm pressing on a lot smaller ironing board on this and just really trying to fit stuff in a big quilt. And to have to deal with the cord too has always been such a huge pain. So I jumped on the cordless iron too. Oh yeah, and it came in different colors. I got the gray, so it's like a smoky gray. And they also had like a blue and a really pretty purple as well. So I'm just going to look at this quick. Okay, this is by Pam Demore, the Decorating Diva. I just want to double check. Okay, so I have the 12-inch by 18-inch size. That's here. And it says, this mat is made out of all natural fibers in the USA and creates a perfect pressing surface for your embroideries, quilt blocks, garments, and more. Use with or without steam for a professional result. Because of the dense natural fiber construction, it holds the heat, and it is like pressing your project on both sides at the same time. Oh, that's interesting. Place it near your sewing machine to save trips onto the ironing board. That sounds good. So that's really why I wanted it. It was a nice small thing that I could just move around all the time, but look how thick it is. So it's just a really thick, dense piece of wool. And I've looked for these before, like wool like this outside of the quilting world, and they're really expensive, really fat chunks of wood like this, wool. So I bit the bullet and got this for me. Oh, Connie, this is just like yours. You had to make your own cover. Yes, so I would love to make a cover for this ironing board and my other one like this, but I have not done that yet. So I did bring a towel out here. Even with my pressing mat, I am going to just throw a towel on here just because I don't want to wreck it. I mean, it's pretty well worn, this ironing board. You know, it's been sitting outside probably for years and years and has those water stains on, but I don't want to be the person to add more to it, you know? Oh, Libby, you got your pressing mat as well. That is awesome. So the new iron, the cordless iron that I'm getting from Mass Drop, the purple version is kind of like this purple. All right, so I got my little mat out here. Let's get the quilt. So here is my Charming Chevrons quilt. Move the pattern out of the way. So what's nice is I have my table behind me here still, so I can that's going to take care of a lot of the weight. So I can kind of push this onto the table when I'm done, and it won't be falling everywhere. And I think this wool and the towel are going to help with that too. But man, it is large. I kind of forgot how big a twin size sheet is. A twin size blanket. It's rather big. And it kind of makes me think, dang, if I was going to go this big, I should have gone all the way and done a queen size. But I'm having so many queen size quilts made lately. Like I have the Splendid sampler that was queen size for me, and my jean quilt is queen size, so I didn't want to make another queen size because I'm like, how many times am I going to switch my quilt cover? But I don't know, it's pretty large. All right, so what we're doing here is pressing all the seams open. So we haven't pressed anything yet, so I just need to go section by section and press these seams open, which, man, now that I'm here, it sounds like it's going to take ages and ages, but we'll give it a go. Oh, yep, I'm trying the new mat here today, Sue. Okay. We're definitely going to figure out a rhythm for this. So I'm guessing, well, right now we're just going to go by little, like square by square, and kind of work our way from this corner over, I think.
The nice thing about this mat is it's exactly the size of this ironing board, which I'm sure is by design. You know, I'm thinking that's maybe kind of a little standard thing. I don't know for sure, but it's a nice coincidence if it wasn't by design. Oh man, I can't even keep the one pressed open, the one that I already have pressed open. So, and I'm going to kind of like stretch it just a hair as I go. I'm not really stretching it, I'm just kind of keeping the seam flat. So let's go from the top again here, I think. Oop, there it moved on me. Oh, Sue, you signed up for the webinar. That is awesome. So if you guys got my email yesterday, or you've just been hearing me talk about this, I'm going to be featured on a Sulky webinar coming up. So Sulky makes awesome threads, and they're the company that makes the stick and stitch, like the Fabri-Selfie, the stick and stitch, that stuff that I use for embroidery all the time to transfer my designs. So they make that, and I will be doing a webinar with them on April 10th. And it's to show how to make one of the projects from that craft text book. So that kind of weird material, that weird paper material, that it's like paper, it's like leather, it's like vinyl, it's like fabric. It is kind of this cool paper material. So I'll be showing how to make a project out of that, the project from my book. And there will be a little kitty on there, which may be for free, and there's a couple other bonuses that you'll get as well during the webinar. So you'll definitely want to sign up for that, and I'm just realizing that I forgot to put that link in here again. So I'll have to do that tonight. But the link is also up right now on the Penguin and Fish Crafters group. But so you just sign up on their website through the link, and it's free. So you'll basically be signed up for it, and you'll get reminders and stuff. It's going to be on April 10th, and I'll send out some reminders too. So if you're on my newsletter, which I hope you are, you'll get reminders that way as well. But I'm super stoked. I had the dress rehearsal for it today. So I got to test out the webinar software, and it has a Michelle from Sulky is the host. So she hosts these webinars, and so she'll introduce you to the project and to craft techs, and then we'll do the project. So I'm really stoked. It was really fun today to talk with them, and I think it's going to be just really good, and you guys will like it, I hope. But yeah, so April 10th, and it's on demand too, which means that you can just you can watch it anytime. You don't have to be there live, but if you are there live, you can type in your questions and stuff, and they answer every single question. If they don't answer it during the webinar, they will put a PDF together of all the questions after. So if you're curious, it would be good to try and get there live and ask you questions. So I'm super duper duper stoked. I will show you guys the project, the finished project. Maybe I'll go grab it tomorrow, and I'll show you guys that too. Oh, you signed up for the bunny embroidery thing. Oh, Gretchen, that was actually the bunny embroidery, the live stitch along was actually last year oh, was it? Yeah, it was last year. So I must have not taken it down yet, but I do have, all the videos are up, Gretchen, on YouTube for the bunny stitch along. So you can find them on the Penguin and Fish movies on YouTube. They're all there. you posted a picture of your stiletto attempt. Oh, Gretchen, I didn't see that yet. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, the fun little stilettos made out of the turkey lacers. All right, so this is, to me, all this pressing these open is a little insane. Not insane, it just is something I'm definitely not used to. Pressing seams open. What I usually do is just press them all to one side, so this is a little different feeling for me. But, you know, we'll just keep cruising along, pressing them open. I mean, some are going to fold shut again, it feels like. But, I don't know, we'll do our best, I suppose. I'm attempting to press them all open for this project since that's kind of what was recommended by the designer. And I love learning new tricks from people and trying things the way other people do it. So we're gonna give this a try, pressing it all open. We'll see how it quilts, and that's the whole point. In theory, I've been told that this makes it easier to free motion quilt by pressing all these seams open. But as you guys know, if you are with me here, often ironing, pressing, it's not my favorite thing to do. And it's not that I actually dislike the actual process of pressing. It's just that it's something I always forget is a step, and it takes forever. So in my brain, I'm a little further along, and then I realize, oh wait, this step takes forever. I'm not using steam. I probably could. I haven't been using steam just because steam can sometimes stretch out the pieces while you're pressing. So it can, like, I didn't want it to stretch the triangles while I was sewing all those and everything. So that's why I haven't used steam. I actually haven't used steam in a while. I'm not quite sure why. Well, probably just that it's just gonna stretch my pieces a little bit. Well, according to the instructions on this thing, or the description I just read for these mats, supposedly you can use steam with these mats, these wool pressing mats. So I don't know. According to the instructions, you can. I have heard people say that maybe it gets a little musty smell if you use steam, but I don't know. It's kind of what they're made for. These, yeah. Okay. So the mat is designed to retain heat on top and bottom. So the top and bottom are kind of heated. So it's kind of like steam where you're pushing heat all the way through, I suppose. My God, we went like 2 feet. We've done like hardly any of this. I think some people, Gretchen, have said that they don't use steam on it because it kind of makes it a little musty smell, or it did on theirs. But on these instructions, it said that you could. You sew clothing through. You sew clothing though, and not quilts. But you love some steam. Yeah, I do too. And I used to always use steam, and I don't know why I stopped. I think, I know. I kind of stopped a little bit during the Splendid Sampler because we were working on some really small pieces, and mine were all getting weird, and someone suggested not using steam so they don't get stretched out funny. But then I started using starch, and that was kind of like my steam replacement because, you know, I was getting, it's like a wet spray. And then I stopped doing that. I don't know. I guess I have not made up my mind on how the whys behind my pressing. So that's something I gotta think about. Use steam for sure when ironing. Oh, when ironing your backing. Ooh, wow, this is really tight here. Like, huh, I sewed that funny. Oh well, let's try and, that'll be saved when I quilt it. I have like, it's bunched together a little bit here, and once we quilt it together, no one will be able to tell, so I'm not worried. You haven't decided if you'll piece your backing with 2 current fabrics or your leftovers from the fat quarters. Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to use whatever leftovers I can muster from this. We'll see. The rest I'm going to fill in with... I have a ton of this red fabric yet, so I'm going to... Whatever... If I use up all my scraps, which I'm hoping I will, I'll use the red everywhere else. So I'm guessing it'll be a mostly red back. Oh man, this is just... Oh, this was not even warm. I must not have done that one. Come on, seam. There you go. I feel like I'm just pressing them open and pressing other ones shut. I don't know. Pressing, ugh, is not my deal, that's for sure. Some people love this. Oh yeah, iron is definitely hot enough. It's super hot. Like, I would totally burn myself. You can see it's even turning. Ooh, geez, press the fabric and I'm burning myself. It's turning the fabric colors, but that color turns back with this red. It's just something kind of weird with this red. Okay, you guys, this is not even off the floor yet. We are going to be here for days pressing this, I'm telling you. We have done, I'm going to show you guys, we've only done this much of this tiny section here. Ugh. This is only like maybe 2 blocks worth, and there's 9 blocks and 11 blocks going this way, so I don't know. This is definitely one of those things that you just kind of zen into and just go at it, I suppose. But, ugh, I don't know. Not for me. Ooh, and we're falling off the edge here. Yeah, everything's definitely hot enough. It's just that, you know, all the seams are being pressed open, and, you know, they just want to go the way that they want to go. And we haven't pressed anything yet. So, well, we've pressed, like, in between the triangles of the chevrons, because we did that while we were sewing those guys together, but all the rest, all of the sewing of the chevrons, the half chevrons together, and sewing the rows together, those we have not pressed at all, because we did that chain method of piecing, which has kind of kept everything together. And we didn't break to press. So that thing that I was avoiding, now we're like stuck with it all now. I didn't press in the middle of the rows, and I could have. I didn't take time to do that, so we're taking the time now. This and trimming, not my favorite thing. Oh, you cheated and pressed the row seams to one side. I know, that's typically what I would have done. Typically, I would have just pressed everything to one side and, you know, everything down, and it would have been done and called it a day. So if this works great for quilting, then that's fine. Then I'll do this again. But if this doesn't have, I don't know, if I feel like, oh, maybe this is just as fine if I would have pressed it the other way, then I don't know. Might not be doing this again. We'll see. You read somewhere that fabric has a memory, so when you press it, it needs to sit and cool, oh, while it's still open. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, some of these up here, they're still open, so hopefully they cool and stay open. Although just this moment, I felt a little bit more zen with this, just kind of going over little pieces bit by bit. Just more gently opening things and pressing. So I don't know, maybe it will be more relaxing. This one is just wanting to stay down, so I'm going to leave it. I think the trick is to not focus on one seam. Kind of think about every seam that you're on and press it open all at once. So that's what I'm kind of opening this and making sure this one's open and this one all at the same time, and that's feeling a little bit better for me. Okay, I think, yeah, okay, I think that's my new plan here. We are getting it done, Athena. Little by little, we are getting it done for sure. It's still on the floor, the bottom. But so far, I'm liking the mat. I do feel like it is kind of holding the heat. So that's good. I mean, the iron's hot. This fabric is definitely hot. Need to pop this guy open, and he doesn't want to open. You know, one of the reasons that these rows don't want to open is because they're sewn. They got that little jump in it, that little chain stitched area that we didn't ever trim. So some of those are just too small. They want to not lay flat. I could trim them all, I could clip them all, but I'm not gonna do that. The other nice thing about that, oh, Alyssa, it's the one thing to be the one doing the ironing. Yes, a relaxed emotion when watching. It's totally another, oh gosh. It's probably extra boring watching someone. This is like, just pretend I'm like the Christmas Yule log on TV. That's basically what this is, right? You should just throw some gentle music, turn off the sound of me yammering, turn on some gentle music, and watch the seams get pressed open. That'll put you to sleep, right? Yes, Julie, the mat arrived just on time. It was there this morning when we got up. Oh man, speaking of, so I said how I had a glass of wine and ironing. That's what it should be. Yeah, that should be like right here. Every once in a while, you should just see that, right? But this morning, you know, I was doing that dress rehearsal today for the Sulky webinar, and it's all online, right? So about an hour to, about 2 hours before I was supposed to call up and do this webinar, our power went out in the house. So we lost all power, and we were like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Which meant no Wi-Fi or anything, so I couldn't just break out the laptop and do it either. So I was like, okay, trying to figure out what to do, and I'm like, oh man, am I going to have to do this thing? Luckily, it was just a dress rehearsal, but I was thinking, am I going to have to go to the coffee shop and have like the loud coffee noise behind me while I try to do this dress rehearsal, which I was super, super nervous about too. But so my husband was going to head out too because he needed to use a computer too. So we were just going to head to the coffee shop. And literally we had our coats on and we were about to walk out the door and the power went back on. So, and I had like, you know, a half hour or whatever to spare. So that was good. But I was freaked out because, you know, when you're nervous for something, all sorts of things run through your brain and all that. And, you know, I didn't think about the power going out. Yeah, I thought about the library, but I didn't want to, like, I'm pretty sure I'm probably a loud talker. I come from a loud talking family, and I was scared. Oh, my husband just laughed at me. He's like, you think you're a loud talker? Hello. You are the loudest talker. You and your family are the loudest talkers ever. He just laughed from his office. But anyway, I was scared to go to the library because I thought I was just going to be too loud and I'd be like this crazy loud person talking about some crazy thing intermittently because they wouldn't be able to hear everyone else. So library was out of the question for that. But it turned out great. It was super fun, and I think we found out after that it was like a planned outage. So we're like, okay, thanks for letting us know. So assuming there's no planned outages on April 10th, we will be perfectly fine. But you know, you're nervous for something, and then that happens. It's like, no. But it was a weird morning. It was a weird morning without any of our electronics going, without being able to get to work right away on the computer. It was odd. We had to kind of figure out how to make it work a little bit. Oh, you're the loud family at your house too, Sue. Oh, that's funny. Oh, I think our library is like that too, Gretchen, but I think you have to check them out beforehand and stuff, the rooms. So I didn't know if I got to the library what the state of the state was going to be like. So it was coffee shop on the agenda. But it all turned out, so that's good. Oh, you're loud because you come from a family of 7. Yep, that would do it. All right, we are off the floor. I think I have about maybe 3 feet left of this, and then we'll just shift down a little bit. I'll probably pull all this down to the top and then shift over. I kind of find it funny how quickly the hubs laughed at me when he casually heard me say that I think I'm kind of loud, maybe. Huge eye roll from him, I'm sure. Oh, I haven't seen the tissue paper templates for free motion quilting, but that is interesting. Then you could just follow the lines to do really intricate stuff. That makes total sense. And then just tear off the tissue paper after. I kind of like that idea. No, I have not. I've not seen those. I am just dipping my foot into what's out there for free motion quilting, and it is a lot. And there's more new stuff all the time. Like those acrylic templates seem super popular right now. I love how much stuff there is when you really get into the nitty-gritty of like a niche thing. Like if anyone else heard what we were talking about, they'd be like, what's that? Like what, you know, everything would be a question mark. You know, seam allowance and scant quarter inch and, you know, all these terms. And by the way, if I ever say something and you're not sure what I mean, if I just spit out a term, please let me know. I will for sure tell you what it is. Sometimes I just forget and blurt out just random terms. You saw it today. It comes in four strips to a pack, but you don't know the cost. Oh, interesting. Oh, they are tearaway. Oh, yeah, so that makes sense that they would be tearaway, the tissue paper. So, yeah, you'd only be able to use them once. But, yeah, for a whole quilt, you would really need a lot, wouldn't you? Like a lot of the same pattern. Or you would just get good at it after a while, potentially, but I'm guessing they'd probably want you to keep using it. All right, I need 2 hands to try and get this open. Oh, what I was going to say, though, that iron, that cordless iron that I got from Mass Drop today, it's that one that I put in the link. What's nice about that, too, is that both ends of it have like a little tip. So it's got a tip on this side and it comes down to a tip on this side. So you could really switch hands and press either way and like get into your seams. So I think it's definitely had quilters in mind. And it didn't look that big, although I didn't really have a size reference. I do like using this small one. It's a lot lighter on my hand. Your family's loud too, Julie. Funny. Julie, I am the same way. We are a super loud family, and whenever we get together, or whenever we haven't seen each other in a while, we're pretty loud. And I'm pretty loud, and he'll always have to remind me, you're pretty loud. All right, woo! The end is nigh here, people. Oh, I think we missed these though. I gotta scooch down. Oh, maybe I didn't miss them, but it looks like I missed them. They're pretty chilly. They're not all warmed up like the other ones. I forget that we did actually press the ones like for, within a rectangle of the half chevron. We did actually press them. So I'm seeing these pressed things. I'm like, oh, I'm done with that section. But we're really looking at these vertical ones here and the rows. So I'm like, oh, I already pressed all these, but I did already press them, just not today. All right, I'm really happy that I got the large ironing board out though, instead of my teeny tiny table one, because this would have been a huge pain to do on that itty bitty ironing board. That little ironing board's good for small little piecing, and that's actually what I'm hoping this wool pressing mat will kind of replace. Like I can just have this nearby, and I can move it around to wherever I need it and use that to press. All right, those are good. Let's get this bottom row here, and then we'll scooch up some more. I think 2 more scooches for this little part, and then we can scooch the whole thing over. All right. Okay, it's just like where it all comes to a point, that's where it gets pretty bulky. Oh, yeah, when you're eating out and a loud talker gets on the phone. Yeah, I am much more aware when I'm out the volume of of things. I'm usually just loud when I'm with family, basically. All right, yeah, we didn't do these yet, so let's do that. Oh, you've been thinking about trying the stencils, Deborah? Oh, the kind you use that... Oh, okay, so some stencils have... it's like an acrylic or like a plastic stencil, and then they have like holes in it, little perforations, and then you put like little chalk, like chalk pouncing on that. So it would put like a little chalk layer of just the design on your free motion quilt. And that... Then you quilt over those lines, and then those chalk lines just kind of brush away. That would be an idea. I think for really intricate stuff, that would be pretty interesting. I'm hoping I'm hoping that we just turn this into a whole practice session where some of those designs just become a little more comfortable to do. I'm thinking that would be great. I mean, I think that's a great idea, period, to just have the design all laid out and then you can just stitch over it. I think that'd be a really great learning tool for sure. I'm hoping, well, especially on like a big leafy thing, that would be pretty difficult, I think, just from the get-go. But man, I'm hoping we can learn some tricks for some of that stuff, and maybe that's pretty wishful thinking for a first free motion thing, but we do have this whole quilt, which is there's a lot of surface area here to learn on. And again, I'm okay with messing up. I'm okay with like, well, that leaf looks crazy town. Because every time something goes weird like that, it's like an opportunity to get better. If I'm not, or it's an opportunity to ask questions about, okay, well, that didn't work. Well, why not? And then try something else. And when you go into a project and you know that that's going to be the objective, and you know it's going to be like really crazy looking because you're going to have a whole lot of bad stuff before good stuff. I think the bad stuff isn't, or the less pretty stuff isn't as much of an issue. All right, man, you guys, this is going to take days to do, isn't it? Because it is almost, it's 9:15 already, if you can believe it. We've been doing this, gosh, we've been at least doing this for a half hour. I talked a little bit, but I didn't talk that long, so, man, I don't know. I guess we're going to, like in my head, this is going to take an evening, right? Scratch that. So I guess I'm going to we'll keep working on this. It's going to take me a lot to put all of this stuff away. So I'd rather keep it out and work on this until we have this pressed before moving on to the back of the quilt stuff. So I wanted to do that making fabric out of, our little scraps. I think this is going to take a little bit longer than I thought. So we're going to finish this first, and then we'll start the back, and we'll start the back with that little making the fabric. So we're gonna wait on that. I thought that we could start that tomorrow, but that ain't gonna happen. I think this pressing is gonna take at least, and it's crazy, at least the end of the week. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we might be pressing that long. On mass drop iron, is it still possible the price will even go lower? No. So if you check out, Holly, if you check out any other of the products, some of them you'll see like a little circle, like, oh, we need 6 more people to unlock, and it'll go this way little, and then, okay, we need 20 people to unlock it to this route. This one has already been unlocked all the way. So this price on the iron will not drop any further. And actually, I think it's only up. It said 1 more day, but I don't know if that meant today is the last day or if it meant that there is actually 1 more full day after today. So it's either today or tomorrow that drop is going to go away. Oh, you're going to cave, Holly. Yeah, I mean, it's that cordless. It's the cordless aspect to it. And I'm sure there's other cordless things, but I don't know. On the reviews or the discussion page, people seem to really like it, and it seemed like they weren't finding it. They were finding it one other place as cheap as this, but that was the last drop. So this has been coming. They must have had this drop before. And by drop, I just mean like a product. These products come and go on mass drop. So it sounds like they must have had this product before, and since it was popular, they brought it back. So I don't know when they would bring it back or if they would again. But, if you don't get it this time, maybe it'll come again. I don't know. But I think, yeah, it's just today or 1 more day. I'm not positive. And just so you guys know, the Home Shopping Network still has it for $79. Oh, plus $5 shipping. Oh, so that's the best other price. So on mass drop, I think it's like $69.99, and it's free shipping in the U.S. So mass drop sounds cheaper than that right now. So, yeah, so it's probably the cheapest you'll get this iron. I mean, that's a lot, it's an investment still, something that price. But for what I do here, and, I've been doing this I'm doing this every night now, and I'm trying to get rid of all the little barriers to working on stuff, and one of those barriers sometimes is that iron. Like, I don't want to deal with the iron. And a big thing of that is the cord, having that in my way all the time. or having it limit where I can put the iron down. So yeah, it didn't take much convincing for me to get it. The other thing with mass drop is it does take a long time to ship. So if it is something that you want right away, I would maybe look somewhere else. Because, you know, they are doing this thing where if it's cheaper, or, you know, the price gets cheaper with more people buying it. So they're not actually buying any of these products until like after they know how many people bought it. So you're not going to get it shipped right away, and they're shipping it to themselves first, and then they're shipping it to everyone. So they have to like repackage it and ship it all out. So it does take quite a bit of time. I think they said like May 7th or something, which, you know, is actually really only like a month and a week away, month and a half or so, which is pretty crazy to think about. But yeah, so sometime mid-May, I will have me a cordless iron, and I will be happy. I hope it's not gigantic. That's what I'm a little worried about. I like this little size. I know I'm pretty sure it won't be this small, but still. The cordless, that was the selling point for me. Use the travel iron for paper piecing by your machine. Oh, that's nice. Oh, you fight the cord all the time. Yeah, exactly. Well, and I mean, you know, sometimes I have my iron over here with you guys in the evening, and the cord is always getting in the way. Like, I don't ever know how to rotate the iron to get it out of my way because it's kind of awkward already having the iron over there. Oh, just a little bit bigger than your hand from the video on HSN. Okay, well, I have a pretty small hand. My travel iron is just about the size of the hand, so a little bit bigger than the travel iron. It didn't look huge, but I'm not always a good judge at product photography, size images like that. All right, I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3.5. So by pressing this far, we're only at 3.5 chevrons over, and there's 9 total. So, yep, we'll be doing it. Yeah, Sue, I might be ironing still by the time. Oh God, I hope that's not the case. Something would have gone truly wrong and horrible if I'm still pressing this by the time in May when this is going to come. But I do have to say the timing on the mat, this wool mat, was good. The one thing I heard from reading the discussion on that iron is that it times off in like 10 minutes because, you know, if it's not in use, it turns off. I guess most irons are like that though, right? So you just have to pay attention, like if it's sitting for a little while, to kind of lift it up and reactivate it so it doesn't fall asleep. You know, I guess it's kind of like a computer. But other irons do that too. If you have them just sit up, they'll turn off. So I guess that's not any different than my big iron. I don't think this one does that. Like turns off if it's just sitting around. But my big iron does that. Yeah, the Rowenta. Exactly. My Rowenta iron turns off by itself. So I was thinking, oh, is it going to be annoying that I have to activate this thing every 10 minutes? But yeah, just now I'm like, wait, my current iron's like that. Oh, this is a Rowenta too, actually, now that I'm looking at it. I wonder if, I don't know if this one turns off by itself. Oh, the other comment in the video was having to put it back in the dock often to keep it charging to stay hot. It cools as you use it. Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes, because that would be pretty annoying, Holly. So I'm hoping that's not so horrible, because something like this, I would not want to keep putting it in and taking out again. But I mean, like, this is exceptional ironing. I mean, I'm in my normal day-to-day quilt world, I am not pressing gigantic frickin' quilts. You know what I mean? So this is above and beyond. Like my normal stuff, if it needs to go back in the charger when I'm not using it, that's fine. My plan is to have the charger nearby that I can put it on, and then when I'm using it, I won't have the cord in my way. So it's about the cord being in the way. So I still plan on having the charger near. But yeah, so I suppose on something like this, it might be an issue. But again, I could still have, like at the end of my table here, the end of my ironing board, I could have the charger. It's just like a holder. I could just have it at the end and set it in whenever I move the fabric around, let it charge for a few seconds. That might just do the trick. Yep, Gretchen, that's what I'm saying. I'd rather deal with the cordless. Like right now, this would be great cordless. And I could go the other direction too, because it's pointy that other way. I just feel like, oh, it'd be one less thing to worry about. And then your cord isn't being pulled and catching on everything. The cord will just be like in the dock, and the dock's not going to move. I'm only moving this. So all in all, I'm pretty stoked. Stoked about that iron. Thanks for, I don't remember who mentioned it yesterday. I think yesterday someone mentioned that they ordered it. And I had seen a few irons on there lately, but I didn't realize that that one was cordless. And when you mentioned that it was cordless, I'm like, oh dang, I need to check that out. So it's your fault. Like I said, it did not take much convincing. All right, how are we doing? We'll do this last little bit here, and then I think we'll stop for the evening. But I do have to say, I'm just looking up a little bit here. I'll show you when I'm done. It does look awfully clean and pretty with all these seams pressed open. It definitely looks like I've pressed that area compared to like all this other stuff where it's kind of all over the place still. I'm excited to flip it over to the front and press the front. However, we have not even completed a third of this. I think we completed about a fifth of it tonight, maybe. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. Yeah, maybe about a fifth of it. So we'll be at it. We'll be at it a few more days here. Like I said, get some good music on. Throw me on silent and just pretend I am the Christmas Yule log on TV. Just zen out watching someone press some fabric. It is pretty fabric, so you get to see at least. All right, I said we would just finish that, but now I want to do one more. I'm on a roll now. I want to keep going. We'll do one last quadrant here. Maybe I wanted to be a little bit more than a fifth done. See, like right now, this is the part that I hate because I've pushed some fabric this way, right? And I want it to stay nice and flat over there, but I got this dang cord that just keeps grabbing on the fabric, and it's squishing fabric that I had pressed nice and flat already and making me mad. So I want that cordless iron like pronto. But I guess I'll have to wait to till May. More fun than watching paint dry. That's good. Oh, thanks, Deborah. Yeah, it is. I mean, this is abnormal. I'm not used to not like pressing anything till the end. I'm usually pressing quite a bit along the way, but because we tried out that chain style of piecing the rows together, I didn't press during any of that time because they all kind of held together. And I'm just like, we'll just leave it till now, and now is here. Or we'll leave it till later, and later is now, basically. All right, I think that is enough for the night. I'm going to just spread it out here above me a little bit, and then I'll just tilt you guys up here. So it is looking flatter. I do have to say, like, it looks kind of nice and organized here compared to what it was. So I think we got pretty much almost a quadrant done. I think, well, not quite actually. We have like a third of a quadrant here, but I do have it going the entire length, so that's good at least. So I'm going to flip you guys around, and we will call it an evening here. Hello again. So we made some progress. Definitely one of those things where it's just going to take a little bit longer than I thought, but you know what? That's okay. I think I got it going a little bit more. I think I'm getting it figured out. And you know, when you start part of the process, that is what you're doing. You're kind of figuring it out and getting like that muscle memory going. So I think tomorrow, we'll probably get a lot more done than we got tonight. And I'm definitely digging the wool. That wool mat. I think once I get that cordless iron wool mat, that is going to be a good combo. I'm pretty stoked about that. So thanks again, guys. I will get this up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies on YouTube. I hope you subscribe to me there. And I will get this up on Facebook, or it'll stay here on Facebook. And be sure to check out the Penguin and Fish Crafters page here on Facebook. I did put a link there to that iron that I've been talking about all night if you're interested in that, checking it out. Again, I think it's just for one more day. Oh, and I think I put that in Penguin and Fish here as well. So if you're interested in seeing what we've been talking about, that is Mass Drop, and the iron is there. So check that out, and I will show you more about the Sulky webinar tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday. Have a great evening, guys. Good night.